Hey dudes, it's midnight here in Perth. Had a few requests about Whispers of a Sleepwalker as far as the guitar parts are concerned, so I thought rather than writing out a tab, I'll just kind of do a video instead to show the riffs and ideas that I use for this song, so enjoy. So I guess first of all, the tuning that I'm using for the track is D standard with a drop C. So that in comparison to E standard would be all the strings dropped a tone with the bottom string dropped 2 tones. Alright, so the first riff that opens up the song is all based off an open 9 shape that I use quite often, probably almost too often, starting on 4th fret. So we've got the first open 9 like so. So what's happening at the end is I'm actually leaving the A string ringing, so I get that nice major chord at the end. So that's the first part of the riff. The second half goes like this. So I'm sliding each note and backsliding the last note. So the next part's basically just adding on to the previous idea and expanding the riff so that it covers the full 4 bars. So the opening half is exactly the same as before, but we've added this extra lick at the end. So I'll just play that last little bit so you can see what's going on. So I'm pulling off those top notes. So this last little section wraps up this part of the song, and it just has this part at the end which goes like this instead. So I like this last chord because it all 3 strings ring out to create a chord rather than the rest of the opening section being all single notes. Just that last chord kind of sums up this whole first part of the song. So the next part's sort of like the verse, I guess you could call it. We have essentially a power chord shape with the added octave on top at 4th fret, and all that I'm doing is lifting up the pointer finger to play the open A to change the chord. I'm just moving my pointer finger to 4th fret on the bottom string. And that just repeats a couple of times. So here's the chorus. The way I recorded it is different to the way that I would play it if I had to play it on my own. When I first wrote the song, I played it this way, and then when it came to tracking it, I found that it was better to make the part simpler and double track it with some extra layering. But here's how I would play it if I were to play it on my own. So basically we've got this barred chord with 5th fret on the A string as well. And what I'm doing doing down below is I'm basically moving in steps down the scale to produce a little bit of subtle movement in the chords. So you get this kind of effect when the chord's being played. And then the next chord's just open on the bottom 3, and you've got this sort of inverted shape, I guess you could call it, on the top voicing. Giving you a nice kind of open chord, open sounding chord. So then we've got that same verse pattern, the whole thing, and then afterwards we've got the big kind of, I guess, second chorus, but it's different to the first one, and it is based around the first the first verse chord to begin with. So you've got that. So that's the first chord, and the next one is sort of like a C major. I'm getting a phone call. Fantastic. Alright, where was I? Yeah, okay, so this second chord that we have in the chorus, second chorus, is like I guess it's like an open major 9, I think. Yeah. So you get this sort of movement. So that's the chord part. Now what happens is, whilst this chord is ringing, I'm also doing this lead part over the top of it. What I would do if I were playing this by myself is have the low C droning underneath the lead so that it kind of fills the sound out. So it sounds like this. I'll just play that once more for you. Alright, so just the little lead at the end again. I'm pulling off the string each time. And what I'm actually doing at the end, in order to make the whole lick kind of fit in with the chord progression, because it kind of goes over the bar, is I'm just adding a few notes at the end. So I'm kind of referencing the first chord again, like so. Alright, so at the very end of the song we have those two chords that pan in and out, and they're both kind of pan left and right. The first chord is barred at 9th, and we have just going down, we have 9, 9, 11, 9, 10, 9. Obviously that swells. And then we have another chord which is barred at 4th, and it is 4, 4, 6, 4, 5, 7. So if you have two guitarists, you can kind of get that left and right panning effect like what's on the track, so that'd be kind of cool. So that pretty much sums up the whole song as far as the basic outline of the guitars is concerned. If you have any questions about anything at all regarding the song in other aspects, just leave a comment below and I'll try and keep in touch. Thanks guys.